Hello Year 7, it's Miss Malcare here again. Today we're going to be looking at writing our own adventure article. So to start us off, I just want you to complete this Do It Now task, which is to write synonyms for the following 4 words: sad, dark, cold and scary. A synonym is a word that means the same thing as another word. So a synonym for sad, an example would be upset. So pause the video now to give yourself a chance to fill in this table, or you can write it as a list if you prefer, and then come back when you're finished. Okay, so today we're going to be writing our own adventure article, and the reason we're doing this is that we looked at a couple of different articles last week, so it's an opportunity for you to show your understanding of non-fiction. So as you can remember, non-fiction is when someone writes about something that's true. So in this case, in the adventure article, it would be something that the writer actually did, something that actually happened to them. Okay, so the word of the day today is transparent. So the meaning of the word transparent, it can mean sort of a liquid or an object that you can see through. But the way that we're looking at it today is when something is really obvious, something that's easier to understand. So if you could pause the video and go through your word map, write down what category it's in. So is it a noun, an adjective or a verb? Does it have an opposite word that you can think of? Can you use it in an example sentence? And then write down how it sounds. So what is the first sound? How many syllables does it have? Are there any rhyming words that you can think of? And then a challenge there, if you can, is to try and think of any synonyms for the word. So as we've already said, synonyms is when something means the same thing. So the synonym for sad was upset. So pause the video and come back when you're finished. Okay, so today we're going to be writing our own adventure article. So what I want you to do now is just to spend a bit of time planning that out. So there are 8 things here you need to think about. So try and write down some notes as you go. Give yourself some time to think about what place you're going to be writing about. If you had a bad or a good or a bad time, you need to come up with a headline. So if it's a newspaper article, it's going to have a headline. And add a picture as well. So if you're writing this down on paper, you can draw something, or if you're doing it on the computer, you can find something on the internet to put in. Think about what you're going to say in your introduction. What quotes are you going to use? So can you have maybe an interview from someone, something that they've said about the place that you're writing about? What adventure did you go on? So what's something exciting that you did while you were there, or interesting? And then think about how you're going to end it. So how are you going to summarize what you think of this place, wherever the adventure is? So try and do this about somewhere that you've been yourself, so that we can stick to the non-fiction. You could do it perhaps about a day out in maybe an amusement park, like somewhere like Thorpe Park, or maybe a school trip that you've been on before. Or even if you can't really think of anywhere, you could write it as someone who's maybe been to Hastings Beach or Hastings Town, if that's easier for you. So pause the video now to give yourself some time to plan out what you're going to do for your adventure article. So think about these 8 questions and then come back when you're ready with an idea. Okay, so what I want you to do now is to have a go at writing your own article based on your plan. So what we'd really like you to do here is to try and have an obvious tone or mood for your article, either positive or negative. So last week you looked at 2 very different articles, one about Brecon Beacons and one about Everest, that had really a different attitude towards the 2 different places. So try and have a really strong opinion about what you're writing about, so that we can see that in your writing. We want you to have a headline and a picture. Start at least one paragraph with a rhetorical question. Try to use at least 3 facts in your article about the place that you're writing about. Use a quote in your article to support your point. And then use at least 1 word of the day. So this could be transparent from today, or it could be a word of the day from last week, maybe, that we used, like exaggerated, for example, or volatile. And then a challenge there, if you want to complete it, is to also use a metaphor in your article. So pause the video here. You might want to keep this up on the screen just to be able to remind yourself of what you need to be doing in your article. Otherwise, just come back when you're finished. Okay, so what I want you to do then is to read through your article or get someone at home to read through it, and then write down what you think or what that person thinks is good about your article, and then one thing that you think could be improved on. So one thing you might do differently next time. Okay, thank you Year 7, that's all for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.